Welcome back, guys. Thank you again for staying with us for our final match, which I think is going to be pretty badass.
Yeah. It's Clide against HongUn Prime. And Clide, I think, actually, this guy's probably going to win the whole tournament in my eyes. He's going up against HongUn, who is just such a top-level Protoss. He's been dismantling nerds all along the way. In fact, he beat OGS Suzanne and OGS Xenio. He's just slapping Zergs down left and right. Can he take out a Terran, though?
Yeah, it's kind of like Inca, where Inca ended up with PvP the whole way through.
Yeah.
The tournament, this guy's had like basically ZVP for at least the later significant part. We don't have the stats back when it was like 2,000 people or whatever playing in the tournament. But this guy, very talented, but can he play this different matchup now? That's going to be the big question.
Because we know Clide can play it, man. He already took out Davitt last round and Gerard Prime. Well, that's two different races, neither of which are Protoss, but we know he can play it because he practices with Kisu all the time. So it's going to be
SSKS.
Kisu, man.
The player formerly known as Tester, but has now changed his name to SS. But those are his initials, in case you're wondering. Look, I think it's going to be a tough game. I really don't know much about HongUn Prime's,
his PVT.
His PVT. I don't know what to expect, but I do know that Clide is so solid. I don't know if this is going to be as one-sided as we predicted the previous match we did with Any Pro. Against Ensnare.
Two top players, but Ensnare showing that he is a different level.
Yeah.
I mean, no question there. We saw it.
It was pretty sick, man.
Yeah. I didn't think that Any Pro could get tooled that hard by anyone, but
that was pretty brutal.
And here he is.
Clyde.
Every week.
Clyde always looks like he has narcolepsy, like he's passing out in his chair. He's like, I'm in a StarCraft tournament. Oh, he's passed out again. Just going over his game plan in his head. You got to get in the zone. And if you're not in the zone, you're not going to play well. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how, how much talent you have. If you can't concentrate and do the strategies you tried to perfect in the booth, you can't do it. Clyde's saying, I want that money. I want that money so bad. It's so much money.
Don GSL. I think that Clide is such a favorite in this tournament. Every time I watch him play, I become more of a fan. He's so solid. It's like the type of StarCraft that I personally love to see. A lot of people love the flashy stuff, the nukes, the cutesy builds, the abusing little map terrain pieces. Clide is just like, no, I'm gonna stop harasses on me. I'm gonna harass a little bit. I'm gonna macro, and I'm gonna roll you over. And I love that style. I have a lot of respect for players that take that approach.
Yeah, he seems to weather his opponent a little bit more even than SSKS Kisu. The player formerly known as Tester. Very, very impressive. Now, here's HongUn Prime. This guy gives interviews quite well, by the way.
I love his interviews. I love interviewing this guy, and I'm afraid that I might not be able to do that today, Tasis.
I know. It's going to be tough. I want to see this guy get as far as possible. The Prime coach is here in the studio today. Pretty bummed out with Any Pro losing.
Yeah.
So he's really hoping, he's really rooting for HongUn to get it through here.
That's right.
And I think this might be our best interviewee.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Well, actually, the TLO
maybe him and David. David might actually be our best interview.
David, he's got a special place in my heart.
That's right. Was it your idea that if David wins another game, you should ask him, David, can you just tell us a joke, please?
Yeah. Imagine that interview question. David, tell me a joke, please. Oh my!
But
that would be good.
HongUn Prime's PVZ impressed me more than almost anybody's out there. So he could have very good PVT. This game's so new, the competitive scene's so new that we don't know too much about these guys with StarCraft 2. We're still all learning. Let's take a look at the maps now.
And the first map's going to be Lost Temple, followed up by Scrap Station, and the third set on Metalopolis.
As you can see, the maps they excluded: Desert Oasis and Blistering Sands there for Clide. And HongUn Prime also eliminating Blistering Sands. And as you can see, Delta Quadrant.
And, Blistering Sands, a lot of players don't like that because of the backdoor possibilities. Can be used by both races in this matchup.
Yeah. If you think you're better than your opponent, you probably should not have Blistering Sands.
Yeah, it can be a little bit weird with those destructible rocks. In fact, it's one of the very few maps that destructible rocks make such a big difference in early game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love how they Blizzard implemented that kind of stuff. And like the Xel'Naga watchtowers and stuff, it's such an improvement in StarCraft. And I really like that.
High grass
it's really cool.
and Xel'Naga watchtowers are... I think that's they
like
make
such
the
an
game
improvement
so
from
much
the
richer than it would be otherwise.
So I remember when I first saw the Xel'Naga watchtower, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this like structure that I can use. But actually, now that I play, I'm like, oh, no, this is great. This really enhances.
At first, I thought, maybe it's too good. If you have your opponent in a contain, you kind of get so much map presence by having those. But there's a lot of times where you're kind of battling over who has it. There's little side games going on within the real game where you're trying to take that position.
Yeah,
so,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And we're going to see some of that probably here on Lost Temple. Positions matter a lot in this matchup on Lost Temple. If you're close, you can do different builds than if you're far away. And we're going to start this. Let's go. Over here in the center, upper center right, is Clide. And, of course, over here at the far left, so they are very far apart from each other, we have HongUn Prime. I love the Street Fighter voice. By the way, we do understand that the graphics were a bit, not the graphics, I should say, the gamma was a bit too low for some of you guys at home. So we have turned that up. We hope that makes things easier to see.
Yeah, I think that it definitely is easier to see for me, Tasteless.
I could see much easier, actually.
And that's what matters.
That was a great idea, whoever thought of that. I guess we had the gamma too low on this PC.
Check this out. Clyde now with 45 APM. Must be wearing a very heavy watch. Oh, there we go.
Oh, no, it shot up to 300. Okay.
He took his watch off right there.
Probably spiked down. He had to flex his wrist real fast, do a little wrist spin. Depot put over here. Clyde. Not exactly the most intimidating name.
No, it's like a good name, but an ID, no. No.
I don't know.
It's a bad
Is
ID.
that actually his English name? Do you know?
I don't know.
I was just wondering if
I'll
that
ask
might be
him if he wins.
Somebody asked that on the forums. Ask, who is Clyde?
What significance does the word Clyde have to you, good sir?
You guys are supposed to pick the questions, but I think it's a pretty good question because I'm kind of curious about that. And if you notice, HongUn Prime went to both the Xel'Naga watchtowers right away, see if he could spot a worker. He just barely missed Clyde's SCV.
It's pretty cool to brush by those, have certain brushes worked into your build order to catch SCVs, to catch proxy gates, things like that, because they are just ever so slightly out of the way.
The probe is soon going to see what Clyde's up to. Clide making 2 Marines. That makes it much easier to get rid of the probe right away. And he actually backs away without even going in there. HongUn Prime.
HongUn really wants that probe to stay alive.
Yeah.
Figures, I'm not going to see anything. You're just going to kill my probe and then make your tech.
That's what
May as well save it.
Yeah, that's what it seems like with most of these good Terran players. HongUn Prime getting a Zealot out here early for micro purposes. And here's HongUn Prime controlling the Xel'Naga watchtower.
And Xel'Naga's so important. They really give you great radius of vision. You can see those Marines coming from so far away. Problem is, Marines are so fast at shooting in this game and walking, and the cooldown between those two, that if you leave a probe below the ramp, like people used to in StarCraft 1, oftentimes a Marine will actually kill it before the probe can actually get away. So keeping it at the watchtower is actually a good safety measure against that.
Nice micro here by HongUn. He is actually going to chase that out before a Stalker's even out. Even though he's actually going Sentry first, that's interesting. And for a fast Robo.
Marines coming out to claim those watchtowers. As I was saying, the game within the game of controlling watchtowers early and often. Reaper being made, as we see in the production tab. So, in fact, a second Reaper being made as well.
Now, one thing you could do with the Reaper... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Artosis.
No, that's okay.
I'm just such a manner guy. I'm just trying to bring the manner.
Please continue.
He can use the Reaper to scout it to the main. The probe now chased away. So Protoss once again in the dark. Clide doing a great job of controlling the center. Now you can see he did reveal the Reaper, so he's going to go ahead and put the Sentry over here. He wants to catch it while it's on the way up.
But that's also a little bit risky. You might be able to kill one of those sentries if you jump up there and notice quite quickly.
You know what's interesting is that Clide is so confident. All he's doing is just checking around the map for any hidden buildings while he just goes for a quick expand and gets the barracks up.
You know, that's a safe play for a good Terran player. You do not want a Void Ray or something being stuck. And here we go, a Reaper going into the main base.
Takes a peek. That's all I needed to see was a robotics facility.
Yep. And, you know, he tried to put that on some side that wouldn't be seen as easily, but Reaper always finds a way, Jason.
You know what's smart about this build? He may have actually tried to engage in the front like this to show the Reaper, because that's going to put these units here and here, and there's definitely not going to be units right over here. So that's one way you can slip in.
Very true. Whereas if you don't show the Reaper at all, they might be at the ramp and be able to stop that scout a little bit easier.
Clyde, you're so good.
Clyde.
Cut it out, Clyde. Stop that. You're so good.
One of my favorite things to do while watching Clide is to attribute every single thing that happens in the game, luck or not, to him being good.
The Observer now going to get an idea. You see the Clyde's actually ahead. Clide expanded quite quickly.
But a very quick Nexus as well from HongUn.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing a difference between HongUn's play and any pro's play. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove what I dubbed as the #1 Protoss in Prime Any Pro for quite some time. And from here on, HongUn replaces. Sorry, Any Pro.
He doesn't watch our stream.
He doesn't?
He does.
Well,
he
that's
should.
Dumb. We're so good.
Tell him to get a premium package.
It's only $20.
Only $20, guys. Again, Reaper just taking peeks here. Reaper being used to scout. Just get an idea.
Oh, hasn't seen the Nexus.
Yeah, he actually doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think he can safely assume by how those units are set up.
Oh, Clide.
Clide knows. Don't worry, he doesn't need to see it to know it's there.
Now, this is what we've seen from some of the higher level Protosses. Is they're more willing to get additional observers.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if he gets a Banshee or something like that, and he hit it somewhere, and he gets in your base, it's a long walk home to get back here.
It is a long walk home. And it's a long fly home as well, even as the observer flies. We have a nice little army moving out here for Clide. And whether this is a real attack or some little pressure that we were talking about before, it's a very good timing to move out. The army of Protoss is not that large right now.
He scans.
And in fact, he's sending the Reaper into the main base. Maybe he'll be able to draw some of the units over.
He's going to make it look like he's going to go for the probes. But of course, the Protoss already has one stalker back there. He doesn't budge. Clyde just trying to bait him out so he can then... Oh, Clide.
Here he goes.
Oh, that was smart. He only stims one to make it look... Oh! Nice.
HongUn with the beautiful force fields catches a bunch of Clyde's units, and Clide decides, wow, maybe I have met someone who is worth my medal.
Could he possibly kill the Clide?
No.
I don't know, man. Now, I want to point out how high level the play was here with this. He stimmed one Marauder to make it, but you know, if you hear the stim sound and you're not looking, you're going to think, oh my god, they've all stimmed. Might actually retreat. Oh, excuse me. I thought I only stimmed one Marauder.
I think he actually stimmed to run away. I think you might be right.
Oh, that was I think the first stim. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm
totally
actually
tricky. Nice little drop coming over now by Clide. Drops on the side. Only one stalker in there. Might be able to take out some pylons. But no, it looks like he might go for the probes. He's brought a lot of Marines, which are very good against probes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I like this move. Can he get it, though? No. And he doesn't try. He doesn't try to trade. He realizes, okay, the proper move here is to run away and not lose everything. Good move there by Clide.
Clyde
is so good.
Clyde's so good. More barracks here. So he's going to stay heavy infantry. He's getting the reactor. He'll probably swap the starport out with the reactor. Interestingly enough, HongUn Prime is stuck with Immortals for a while. You know, he was doing a really good job of that. Oh, and we got another drop on the way over here.
We have right now, I like the tech pattern we see by Protoss. He's getting Thermal Lance, he's getting +1, he is getting the Twilight Council, so he's just going to have all the solid upgrades that you do need as a Protoss player. Now here we go, the drop coming up.
Clide
sees a lot of units in there, but unloading, he might have enough to do a lot of damage anyways. Oh, look at this. This is bad by HongUn. He's going to lose a lot of units in here that he does not want to lose right now. And Clide, will he get away without losing the drop ship? And he does. He manages to get out of there.
Clyde, you're so good. He did a lot of damage to the army up there. Backed out. He suffered minor losses. And I think he's going to drop again and going to try to take out the structure or the forge. I don't know if it's going to work or not.
And will he get rid of the robotic support bay? Really making HongUn run all over the place. And he does, in fact, get it. Picks up a few units. Will he get the dropship out of here? And he does. He is doing so much damage. I mean, HongUn is actually sitting here. Let me explain this to you people. HongUn is sitting here on 2 bases, okay? He should be able to defend this stuff. But Clide is all over the place, drawing the units back and forth, using scans to plan out these drops. It is great play, and HongUn is just running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Oh, Clide. This is just such high-level play. I'm so impressed. All right, Destructible Rocks. Going to be taken out. He's done the damage he needs to do. He's forcing him to remake this. The staple unit in late-game PvT, the Colossus, out of commission. Meanwhile, that's going to allow his Viking count to get ahead. We do have a Ghost over here.
His unit comp right now is really quite great. He's switched over to so many Vikings at this point. You know, he's not overmade his Ghosts. He's only got 2 Ghosts right now.
You think he's going to go for a bust?
He very well may.
He's debating it.
A couple well-placed EMPs there, as well as Vikings flanking. You know, no force fields, and how's HongUn going to hold this?
Oh, nice angle here.
Such a good move. Here come the Ghosts. EMP's going on. Stim Marine Marauder. And this is not looking good, but Clide not bringing in the Vikings. There they go. And it looks like this is a dire place for HongUn.
Clide is just superior.
He's dropping his Vikings down. Yeah, he's amazing play by Clide.
GG. Wow. I am in awe of that play.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Clide wins that game. A well-deserved win. HongUn Prime is really good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he just could not deal with it.
HongUn is a great player.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people might be like, wow, these guys are actually really talking about how great Clide is too much. But I really want you guys to fully understand what I am watching here, because I am watching on a second monitor along with Tasteless, so I'm seeing every little thing going on.
Yeah.
Clyde is actually unbelievably good. He's the best player I've seen. His play is actually, I mean, Kisu held off some amazing rushes and everything and played really great, but Clide is... He's actually playing so phenomenally. I have not seen any Terran play anywhere near this good, and I've been watching Into the Rainbow a lot lately.
Yeah.
And Clide is actually just playing a much more solid game.
After that game, I don't know. I think he might be slightly better than Into the Rainbow. I really can't
I haven't seen a Terran put up this quality.
That was just really good play back there. I mean, and HongUn Prime knew what was coming for him. You know, he knew that there was going to be drop play. He had observers. He saw. He puts his army there, and it's like he's still just out.
He got peeled apart. He didn't put the right units in the right places. Clyde saw
impressive.
You know, every attack was just right. His unit transitions, his macro was always spot on.
Yeah.
He had the right units. He was expanding at the right time. It's just what I'm watching here is actually amazing. This is how you play Terran. People need to catch up to Clyde so this game can move forward. Because
this guy's light years ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Maybe HongUn Prime will play better this time. But, I mean, looking at that previous game, I mean, Clyde had him every step of the way. He was so high level, so good. How much do we say high level a lot? It's true. It really was.
Let's call it Clyde level.
It's Clyde level.
Clyde level play, man.
It's Clyde level play.
That was horrible.
Thank you.
That was terrible, Tasteless.
Take it back.
That was not a Clyde level joke.
You take that back. I write my own jokes. The countdown started. Let's get ready for an awesome game.